Hello everybody and welcome back. My name is Q and this is Munch's Oddysee. Let SPOOCESHRUBS guide you. It's easy to get lost in the wilderness. Luckily for Abe, the almighty raisin has provided a trail of SPOOCESHRUBS through this area. Follow the SPOOCESHRUBS and you'll never get lost. Never, ever. So yeah, that's convenient. GAMESPEAK. This is one of my favorite aspects of this game. So to get the attention of easily distracted Mudokons, Abe's got to speak up. Tap wide agreed. Yes. So Abe and Munch. Abe can talk to Mudokons and Munch can talk to the Fuzzles. So both of them have friends that they use and that they need to be able to finish the game. And so
how you doing? Hey, what's happening, Abe?
You can talk to them and they'll follow you around, and you can see here we have an orange circle, which means chant circles. Chant circles remind lazy Mudokons that they need to practice their mystic meditations. To open this door, bring Mudokon close to this circle and tell him to work by tapping B. So when someone is following you, you can tell them to get work done, and if you aren't near a circle, you tell them to work.
Okay, get to work.
Yeah, they don't know. You can also tell them to attack if they're enemies.
Kick some booty.
And I love the voices in this game and the things they have to say, but you can tell them one person to follow you.
What's happening?
You can tell if there are lots of them, and you can tell a group to follow you.
Listen. Hey, what's happening, Abe?
You can tell them to wait.
I'll be back. Don't you worry. Yeah, whatever.
And you can also fart. And they will laugh at you.
There's my buddy. Hey, Abe.
But that's Abe's GAMESPEAK. And
okay, little elbow grease, guys. Aw, man.
That's one thing that I think is really cool about this game, is although it is single player, there are lots of things that...
Hey, you managed to get out of the cave. Wow, so impressive. Okay, listen up. Find your lazy Mudokon friends and lead them to the entrance of the big well. Let the SPOOCESHRUBS be your guide and heed the wisdom of the story stones. Now get your blue button gear.
Okay. This game is hilarious at times. But so that's one thing I like. I don't even know what I was saying. Okay, that's one thing I like about this game, is that there are a lot of things that Abe, and when you find him, Munch, cannot do on their own. And so you need Mudokons or Fuzzles to do a lot of stuff in the game. And so I think that's a really neat aspect. Open the gate! This spruce lock needs 40 spruce. Yes, I have many more than that. Okay, chanting. That brings up another thing I didn't mention in the first video. I'll read this first. All of y'all. Whatever. So yeah, you can hold Y and talk to a bunch of people. One thing that I think is really funny that I just kind of flew by in the first episode is the chanting sound that Abe makes when he regrows SPOOCESHRUBS. Like, that's such a weird noise. And but it's awesome. It doesn't really sound like his voice in the cutscenes, which is kind of funny, or his voice even right here. It's just a really weird noise that I think is funny. Also, something that else is funny, that I also just skipped by in the first episode, the pause menu. Munch's face. What kind of a face is he making? He's just staring you down. But this game is so funny. But this is something new, mines. And so it can be difficult, especially when you got people following you. I can't just run through here because they're kind of spread out, so someone's going to step on the mines. But the big well, that's where we're trying to go. That's where the almighty raisin told us to go, so we can
You just hang here
get
for
to
a while.
Munch. So, I guess I could just run through this and hope that I could do it one at a time. But let's see what the sacred stone says. Well, well, well. High pressure wells are natural features of Oddworld. Activate the spooce lock, then get Abe to jump into this ancient well by facing it, yes, and tapping it. Don't step on the mines. That's another thing that I love about this game is just how different and unique they made this world. How unique Oddworld is. I actually don't think I need to bring these guys with me. So I'll just go alone. I love how Abe creaks when he sneaks. He's got old joints. I like the Mudokon's nondescript talking.
Okay, listen up. Hey, it's Abe.
Alright, what do you have to say? Abe's Mudokon buddies. Yes, Mudokons are more comfortable in groups. Get multiple Mudokons to work for Abe. Yes.
You help me out here? Yeah, whatever.
So there are different commands for getting a whole group of people to follow you. But if you want multiple people to do work, then it's the same button. And don't step on the mines. Also, something cool, if you sneak, they'll sneak, and they creak as well. But Abe can sneak a bit faster than they can.
Hey, it jumps. Hey.
Okay, so in the first episode, I talked a little about the first two games.
You may notice that if one of your friends passes on, you can bring them back to life by giving Spooce to this resurrection totem.
Okay, so I'll talk about more about Abe's Oddysee and Abe's Exodus in a minute, but this is a really cool feature of this game. You can see that there's a 1 on top there in white, and now there's a 0. So that means that no Mudokons are dead.
Hey.
And that's a good thing.
Hey there, fellow chump.
Come on, are you following? Okay, there we go. So if later these will be very handy because there will be lots of enemies that can kill the Mudokons very easily. So the resurrection totem, if Mudokon warriors pass on to the other side, you can bring them back by standing next to the resurrection totem and tapping A. If any other Mudokons pass on, you can bring them back the same way. So that's really, I think it's a really cool way of making sure that you can still beat a game, because like here we need 6 Mudokons, and so if someone had died in the mines and there wasn't a resurrection totem, I wouldn't be able to finish. You need 6! If Abe wants to get through this door, he needs to resurrect a dearly departed Mudokon to fill all 6 chant circles. To do this, go to the resurrection totem, which I already did.
Okay, little elbow grease, guys.
And they make the funny chanting noise too. Yep. Oh, and now we get to fun stuff. If you can't beat them, throw them. Time to throw Abe's reluctant homies over these rocks. To pick up a Mudokon, tell him to wait, then stand behind him and tap the action button to throw a carried Mudokon. Oh, to throw a carried Mudokon, tap A again. So this
Just sit tight, be cool.
is something you won't have to do a lot in this game, but there are several times where you need to throw Mudokons, and Abe can also, once you find Munch, Abe can throw Munch. But I mean, this can be annoying at times because it's just a little slow, and sometimes it's hard to pick them up, but it's actually a really neat mechanic, and I really like it because sometimes oh come on especially in a lot of older games, NPCs will get stuck, and that's a really easy way to just make sure,
listen.
you know, to not only add a new way, new type of obstacle, but to make sure if someone gets stuck that you can just pick them up and move them. Alright, so let's see. I'm just gonna finish this level up quick. So, if any of you are wondering, this level doesn't have any korma, because even though there are Mudokons, they're already in the wild. Like, when you're in the factories, and you need to rescue the Mudokons, you send them out into the wilderness. So that's why these guys don't need to be rescued, because they're already here. Zapenge. Remind you of anything? Okay, there's a bit more than I remembered. So, that wraps up this episode, and in the next one, we'll gather some more Mudokons and activate the Zapenge. So thank you for watching, and this is Q, signing off.